What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a part 2 to yesterday's video of my WandaVision finale. In this video, I'm going to be doing my top theories and top 5 questions for the season. And I decided to break up the videos into 2 parts just so it's a little bit easier for you guys instead of watching a longer video where I do the breakdown and the theory crafting. I'm going to just separate into 2 separate parts, and then that way it'll be easier for you guys to comment your top questions, your biggest theories, and we could just go from there. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, so my number 1 question, is Wanda a mutant? Is she considered an X-Men, a mutant within the MCU? Based off of the episode, we got dialogue from Agatha, and she says the Scarlet Witch is not born, she is forged. So I think this line alone basically cancels the idea that she is a mutant, because you're supposed to be born with the mutant powers. And it looks like, although we saw the flashbacks with Wanda's history and her having the sorceress powers when she was younger, I think it's a matter of like a title, kind of like the Thor title. You have to have the worthiness to hold Mjolnir, and for some reason Wanda ended up being worthy of being the Scarlet Witch, and it was passed down to her. There could have been previous Scarlet Witches throughout history, and now she's just the next one in line. So I personally do not think that she is considered a mutant. I think we were very excited to maybe see the introduction to mutants in the MCU through WandaVision, and we thought that it was going to be a reverse House of M from the comics. Wanda would say, "Let there be mutants," and then we get mutants within the MCU. That wasn't the case. So that's my big question. Do you guys think Wanda is a mutant? And a follow-up to that question is, since we didn't get any mutant confirmation within WandaVision, where do you think mutants are going to show up within the next Marvel projects? And what is your biggest theory on how they can come into the MCU? Alright, with that, let's move down to number 2. For question number 2, it revolves around White Vision. Big question is, where did he go? We saw he had that dialogue with Hex Vision in the library. They're talking about the ship of Theseus and who's the true Vision. He got enlightened by Hex Vision. He saw the memories that he lived through in the events of Age of Ultron, Civil War, all that, and then he just took off. He left. We have no idea where he went. So that is the big question. Where do you guys think he went? Is he going to appear in the next Marvel project like Falcon and Winter Soldier, Black Widow? Where do you think he's going to show up next? And when do you think he's going to show up next? I guess that's the important question, because if we don't see him for 5 years in the MCU, we need to know what he's been doing this entire time. Could there be some kind of subplot for Ultron 2.0, or, you know, what do you guys think is going to happen? A small theory that I have working, White Vision, he's going to do his own thing. I think they explored the entirety of the relationship between Wanda and Vision, and if Wanda and White Vision ever end up meeting again, I think they're going to be crossing paths in the wrong way, and they might have to fight against each other, and I don't think that they're going to pursue their romantic relationship anymore. So with that, let's move down to number 3. For question number 3, it revolves around the kids, Billy and Tommy. As I said in my last video, I was so shocked that they didn't make it out of the Westview anomaly. I had my money on it that they were going to make it out alive, and then they'd run off into their own Young Avengers project, and that wasn't the case. They ended up dying with the anomaly. So my biggest question to you guys, and I want to know what you guys think, what your theories are. How do you think Billy and Tommy are going to make it back into the MCU? The 2 main theories that I have: either in the Multiverse of Madness, we all know Wanda's supposed to be part of that storyline. Along those events of that movie, maybe she might make it onto another Earth where Billy and Tommy exist there, but the Wanda of that universe has been killed off, and she wants to be that motherly figure to them and say, "Hey, look, I know I'm not exactly the mother that you had in this universe, but I had you guys in my universe. You guys should come back to Earth 616 with me, and I can show you how to harness your powers, how to better train. We have the Avengers over here, something along those lines to get them from whatever Earth that they're on onto the Earth that we currently know as the MCU. Or my other theory, their soul shards end up falling into two separate bodies and somehow they cross paths. They still have their powers. Now they're completely different people that we haven't seen in WandaVision. And with that, moving down to question number 4. For question number 4, it revolves around Agnes. We saw that Wanda put her in a trance and said, I'm going to trap you here in the Hex. You're going to be living the nosy neighbor lifestyle that you've begged for, whatever. And then the Hex disappeared. All that went away. So my big question is, how does this affect Agnes? Does she get to roam free now that the Hex is down? Is she somehow trapped in that trance even though the Hex is over with? Let me know what you guys think. I personally don't have a lot of theories for this other than when the Hex went down, the spell was lifted and Agatha just isn't powerful enough to take on Wanda at this point. And let's move down to the final question. For the final question, question number 5, it revolves around the post-credit scene that we saw with Monica talking to the Skrull. This is essentially my question. Who do you guys think is a Skrull within the MCU right now? I had a small theory that it was Jimmy Woo. Jimmy Woo might have been a Skrull this entire time, or that he might know that that FBI agent was a Skrull. Who knows? It's crazy to think that Skrulls can be infiltrating high-ranking positions and high-ranking agencies like S.W.O.R.D. There was a point in time where I thought Hayward might have been like a evil Skrull, but we didn't get any confirmation of that, so we have no idea until next time we see him. Can you imagine if there was an evil Skrull who was like the president, and the president wanted to invite the Avengers into the White House to congratulate them on defeating Thanos, and then it turns out it's really a trap and he's there to kill all of them? Like, who knows? The Skrulls can essentially have a lot of political strength throughout the MCU, depending on if they're fronting as these high-ranking officials in high-ranking agencies throughout the MCU. So let me know who you guys think. Who's your number one Skrull agent, good or bad, within the MCU right now? And what is your evidence to why that person may be a Skrull? So that's everything I have for today, guys. Let me know what are your big questions for WandaVision now that it's over. What are your wildest theories that you guys have based on the finale and where they can go from here with the MCU? And we'll be right back here for all the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes. I'm so excited for that. I think I'm definitely changing my way I'm going to be viewing these episodes. I'm not going to be so reaching towards all these theories like I was for WandaVision. I think I was overhyped for the season and I just wanted to see so much out of Marvel. The introduction to the multiverse, mutants, Mephisto, and in reality, it is just a Disney Plus show. We can't expect them to incorporate all these aspects of the MCU that we haven't seen yet. On top of that, me and my boy CG over at Cam for All on his YouTube channel, go check it out. We're going to be putting out a March Madness superhero tournament and see who the champion comes out to. So we'll be working on that and keep an eye out for it. Remember, the best support for the channel, give it a like, give it a share, comment your favorite thoughts and theories so I can comment back to you guys. And I appreciate everybody for watching. So thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time.